Conservative Party for Youth. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Bradley.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Your observations really on events over the last few days. Inevitably, at this point, there's a lot of flack flying around, but what are you making of what you're seeing and hearing?
Yeah, it was always going to get difficult, to say the least, as we got towards these final days. Obviously, people who don't want the Prime Minister to succeed in taking us out of the European Union will throw the kitchen sink at him and are doing. But I think he's been absolutely clear. He's committed to getting a deal. He's put forward some very solid-looking proposals, as far as I'm concerned, that are both an improvement on Theresa May's deal and still a compromise for the UK. As yet, it doesn't seem like the European Union have really engaged with that offer. Other than some grumpy phone calls with European leaders, it seems. So it might get more difficult before it gets easier.
It's a bit more complicated than that, though, isn't it? Grumpy phone calls. I mean, I was just speaking a few moments ago to Oliver Garner, who's written a piece about how the offer that was made, 5-6 days ago, is essentially a challenge to the values of the EU as much as it is about the border in Ireland.
I don't think it's a challenge to the values of the EU. I think it sets out a plan that allows us to take control of the things that we promised we would take control of. And Theresa May even talked about money, borders and laws and the things that we want to bring back into kind of sole UK sovereignty. The plan that Boriss has set out replaces the backstop with something that we think works more effectively for the UK.
But isn't there something naive about suggesting that you put British customs posts inside the Republic of Ireland?
Well, I mean, it's up for discussion. I think Boriss has laid out something that might, from our point of view, might work for the UK interest. It's for the EU to decide whether they want to engage in a constructive conversation about that. Boriss is not saying it must look exactly as I'm saying. He's saying this is the basis for us to start from in these final weeks to discuss it and come up with something that works for both. We've made a compromise. It's not exactly what we would like, and we're asking the EU to now make a compromise. As yet, they don't seem willing to do that. Okay,
well, we'll see where they go, where those talks go. If they go nowhere, or if they don't produce a deal, and after the summit on the 19th, I think Parliament is going to be sitting, aren't you, on the Saturday the 19th?
Seems that way.
Yeah, seems that way. That's your day off gone, Ben. If that's where we get to and there's been no deal arranged and we're facing no deal and then the battle royal around no deal begins in the House of Commons, no doubt, in a general election, if the Conservative Party manifesto was explicitly to support no deal, to campaign on that platform, would you support it?
I think we need to leave, and if the chances of a deal have gone, I don't think they have yet, by the way. Discussions are still happening, and even Simon Coveney yesterday from the Republic of Ireland was saying he still thinks there is a possibility there. So I don't think that has gone, but if we're in a situation where it is going to be impossible to agree a deal with the EU, then I still think we have to leave. We have to fulfil the promise that we made to get out of the EU. So if we get to a point in a general election where it has proven impossible to agree a deal, I fully expect, as per the number 10 briefing the other day, for us to be in a scenario where we are saying it is this deal or no deal. There are no other options, really. So
even during an election campaign, you think that the party would say, just repeat what it's saying at the moment, it would still put forward a deal of sorts for consideration by the electorate, yeah?
Well, it seems to me if we're saying now that the deal as Boriss has put forward is acceptable to us, and I think from the conversations we've had around Parliament, but if
it's definitively rejected by the European Union, and we've heard from inside the government that that's it, take it or leave it, then in a general election, I can't quite see how Boris Johnson and your party could then campaign on anything other than no deal.
Well, if that's the case, then that's the case. I mean, they'll be decided, no doubt, by people above my pay grade. But if we were going into an election saying, actually, we tried the best offer we can and the EU have rejected it, we're not going to offer it anymore, then I would think that was perfectly understandable, to be honest. But I still think most people in the country want us to leave.
I don't know Damian Green's pay grade these days, but he's a former deputy leader, as you know, of the Conservative Party. He will be seeing Boris Johnson later today, we're told, to point out to him that there are tens of Conservative MPs, 50 to 60 Conservative MPs, who simply would not campaign explicitly for no deal in a general election. And Simon Hoare, Conservative MP, Conservative colleague of yours, chair of the Northern Ireland Affairs Committee, told me earlier that the difficulties that would create in the party, if there was that mutiny, I suppose, would be enormous.
Well, no doubt. But I mean, the idea that we would campaign on no deal was your assertion, not mine. I think that.
Well, hang on. It's not my assertion. It's not my assertion. Damian Green and 50 to 60 other Conservative MPs are concerned enough to go and basically send Damian Green down as their shop steward to talk to him about it. It's not my assertion.
What I was saying previously was that what has come out of number 10 so far is that it is New Deal. I think you've heard the mantra, New Deal, no deal, no more delay. If we were going into a general election with the EU having rejected this deal, that doesn't mean we can't continue to say that is on the table if you're interested in a conversation. That will be my expectation, I think, that actually we have come up with this compromise that we feel is reasonable. We're more than happy to talk about it. If not, then we'll have to leave without a deal. That's no change at all from the position we've been in theory, for the last 3 years.
Let me ask you about your own constituency, because it's something of a kind of a petri dish, really, isn't it, for what the Conservative Party might be able to achieve in some of those Northern and Midlands towns that voted very heavily to leave. You took the seat from Labour, former strong Labour seat, a mining community, and your party seems to be leaving behind anyone still lingering under the word Remain. Can you, both you yourself and your party generally, really on that narrow point of Brexit, possibly even no-deal Brexit, win those seats in sufficient numbers to get that majority that Boris Johnson clearly wants?
I don't think we're leaving people behind at all. I think the vast majority, even Remain voters in my constituency, quite regularly tell me that they are just sick of the whole thing and they want it done, and that we should leave on the 31st rather than delay this any further. People are sick of the whole conversation, and the sooner we can move on from it, the better, even, I believe, in the eyes of many Remain voters. But we're not aiming to fight on a narrow Brexit platform. We're aiming to get a deal, get it done in a reasonable way and move on, so we can fight on a platform that's about investing in schools, about more police officers, about the NHS and all the positive domestic things that people really care about.
Just to find out, I see you tweeting a couple of hours ago that you got every MP has been given a tree by Extinction Rebellion. You've got yours, have you?
I've got mine. I've been quite vocally critical, to be honest, about the whole process. I think I'm all for people having a right to make that case and to take that direct action, but actually it has gone beyond the line. I think when you're spraying fake blood over the Treasury, you've crossed the line. I'm more than happy to engage in a positive campaign around the environment, like replanting trees, and I'm more than happy to engage with those kind of discussions. I just think they need to be really careful that they're not, getting in the way of things like emergency services and stuff that has been I think we've seen over the last few days.
Where are you going to plant it?
I don't know. I don't want to take it on a train. I think I'd probably offset the carbon saving if I took it back to the constituency. So it might get planted in London somewhere.
You can't walk to Mansfield, can you? We could cycle to Mansfield.
It'd take me a while. I'm not sure what time at the minute, if I'm being honest.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ben Bradley. Good luck with the tree. Hope it grows. Ben Bradley, Conservative MP for Mansfield, former Vice Chair of the Conservative Party.